The quest for the perfect playlist now includes Spotify, iTunes Radio, Beats, RDO, iHeartRadio, Google Music, Amazon Music, Tidal now. Yeah. How do you think about who's my competition and who am I?
So anybody that has a radio product, broadcast radio is obviously the largest competitor. iTunes Radio, when it came out, definitely direct competitor. And so when we think about sort of our own future, it's really about how do we remain the best playlist building business around. And I think so far the numbers bear it out. You know, we keep growing in spite of all this competition.
So SiriusXM, is that a competitor?
Absolutely, yeah.
Apple buying Beats, is that something that you think about?
Yeah, of course. What I always think with Apple goes is never underestimate. Never think you know what they're doing. It's a very smart company.
So Beats Music will be retooled and relaunched this summer, presumably. Maybe a new name. How worried are you about that?
Well, you know, we actually haven't lacked for competition for a long time. And what I've learned, I keep learning this year after year, is building a great playlist is fantastically hard to do. And so we find over time more and more confidence in the differentiation we have, you know.
Did you ever meet Steve Jobs?
Yeah, I did.
Did you talk to him about the future of music?
No, we said 2 words to each other. We had the great honor of being on stage in Cupertino when they announced multitasking on the iPhone, and they wanted Pandora highlighted. So myself and our then CTO, Tom Conrad, got to give a 3 or 4 minute presentation. Tom and I spent a week in a room rehearsing a 3-minute presentation, and we were kept under lock and key and escorted in and out of the building, and we had to rehearse the talk many, many times for a successively smaller and smaller group of executives until the final thumbs up. And then he did say good job after our presentation, so I take that as great praise.
There's been always kind of simmering talk about Apple and Pandora. Why doesn't Apple buy Pandora? Maybe Apple tried to buy Pandora. Is any of that true?
Well, we don't comment on stuff like that, of course. But you know, I look at them as just an incredible partner. It makes sense they have radio products and things that would compete with us, but you know, stepping back, they've sort of invented this field that we benefit from.
Spotify just raised $400 million at an $8.5 billion valuation. That's more than twice Pandora's market cap. They're more focused on subscriptions. Pandora's more focused on ads. How do you think about that comparison?
We stick to our knitting. You know, having been in this business for a long time, you know, it's an exciting business. There's lots of drama and interesting news. And I've always found the best thing we can do is just stay focused on what we do. We have figured out how to monetize internet radio, which no one else has. We've also built a huge national sales force. So we have hundreds of sellers, you know, 50 markets around the country, who are now penetrated into local advertising. And in the long run, that kind of foundation is how you build a really big business over the years.